Hey, it's Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid, and I have issue number 46 of Transformers. And this one, we got the Sparkabots battle the Roadjammers. Now, the Roadjammers weren't a group of robots. No, the Roadjammers were another group altogether. So, the issue is titled Cash and Carnage. Alright, so we're here at a amusement, a fair, and there's this guy in this trench coat who, he's walking up to, he's walking through the fair. He kind of looks like he's up to no good. And he's going to this booth that says, Wreck the Robot. All proceeds go to the Z Foundation for the destruction of automatons. And so this guy, pulls up and he just knocks everybody out of the way. And he takes out an actual weapon and blows away the robot. Okay, seems a little bit extreme for a county fair. And when he does do that, the guy says, maybe you'd like to do this for real prizes, Mr. Burnout. His name's Burnout. And he's like, how real? $50,000. So, $50,000, we may get him to go and hunt down some robots. So I'm not sure if that's, let's see. Okay, so this is at a First thing is at a county fair in Pennsylvania. The other one is at a funny car rally in eastern Pennsylvania. I don't know why it has to specify eastern, but because the other one just said in Pennsylvania somewhere. So we got this like robot and all. It's like a smash derby. Like a crash 'em up derby. And this guy comes in with a chain and a mace there and destroys the robot. And once he does that, now his name is Roadhog. And the guy says, how'd you like to hunt the real thing for big bucks, Roadhog? So these two guys are getting recruited here to go and attack robots and capture robots or whatever. Then we got these two other guys, these little guys here. Let's see, Felix and Skunge. 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 Alright. So they kind of use technology to be bounty hunters. And so they're bounty hunters and they're small, but they find that they get very overconfident when they look at these two small guys, and they end up being really good at being bounty hunters. So they see a sign here. Okay, when they bring in their last bounty, they see the sign here: $50,000 to capture robots from the Z Foundation. So what is this crazy Z Foundation? We'll have to find out. So these two drive their pickup truck into New York City, and they go to the Z Foundation. When they get to the Z Foundation, there's a whole bunch of people outside right over here. So a whole bunch of people waiting around. Oh, no. No, here they are. They're all waiting around. But they go in a different door, and Burnout and Roadhog are already there. They kind of look at these two guys like, who are you two little pipsqueaks, and what are you going to do to capture robots? This money is ours. But they don't have long enough to really get into a fight. So these other people come out, and they're Mr. K, Mr. B, and Mr. L. And I swear, I think that the guy in the middle is Walter Barnett, but apparently it's not. So, these guys tell him that what you're going to do now is you're going to go capture Autobots or Decepticons. Doesn't matter which. We're going to give you this jamming device. This thing right here is a jammer. And so they're going to be called the Roadjammers. And the Roadjammers are going out to find robots. So they're going to go... They realize that... they've been given intel that 3 Autobots are operating the area of the Shawngum Mountains, and it's like SHAWOUNGUNK, but it's pronounced Shawgun. Shawngum Mountains, and it's about a few hundred miles north of New York City. So it's somewhere in New York City. They head out for that, and the guys meet with the mysterious Mr. Z, who is in charge of the Z Foundation, and the guys, they're on their way. The Roadjammers are on their way to this northern part of New York to engage these 3 Autobots that are in the area. We cut clear across the galaxy to Cybertron. So here we are at Cybertron. We're in a prison, and in this prison there are some robots there. And so we've got, let's see, we've got Dogfight, Fizzle, Guzzle, Sizzle, Backstreet, and I think the other one is Override. So you've got, you know, it looks like a few of them are, let's see, a few of them are planes, and then there's like trucks and cars and, you know, a few different guys. And then in come these other robots, the Decepticons, and you've got Flame Feather, Cindersar, and Sparkstalker. And these guys are the Sparkabots, the Decepticon Sparkabots, because they had these robots that had this gimmick that when you push them along, there was a thing inside, it would create sparks and stuff like that. So those were the Sparkabots, and the Decepticons were kind of like animals, and the Autobots were cars and trucks and stuff like that. So the Decepticons kind of attack the Autobots, but they're going to take 3 of them away, and they decide to take, let's see, three of the guys away, and they think that they're going to be put into the smelting pool, but they're not. Instead, they go through what's called an energy bath that'll restore them to full operating capacity, and they're sending them across the space bridge. So they are sent across the space bridge onto Earth. And we see that the characters there that are being sent, let's see, of course it doesn't tell me, and it's like Robot of the Week, so who exactly is being sent over, I'm not sure. But let's see, Backstreet is one of them, and that's it. One of them's name's Backstreet. I think one's Fizzle and one's Sizzle. I think that's who it is, but I'm not seeing exactly who they are. So let me just check. But I think it's Fizzle and Sizzle. This is back again. It's just Backstreet again, and nope. It's probably gonna be later when we find them all together. Roadjammer captured Autobots. They go in. Nope. Oh well. Not tell me. So they get to Earth, and they're gonna head out. The Roadjammers, they got their motorcycles, and they're going after the robots. So Roadhog there comes up against, I believe, let's see, probably Fizzle. You got me. Fizzle, Sizzle, whatever. Guzzle. But comes up against them, uses the jammer. The jammer is, what the jammer does is it keeps the robot in their vehicle mode, and then they can't move. And the person who's in charge of the jammer can do, oh, it's Sizzle. Okay. The person in charge of the jammer can control what the robot can do. So Roadhog, he radios over to Felix. He jams one Autobot, and then Felix, he's looking at another one, and so he goes up and he jams Backstreet. So Backstreet gets jammed, and Backstreet then sends a transmission over to, and it's got to be Fizzle. So he sends it over to Fizzle. Fizzle then is being attacked by Burnout, the guy, the big dude there, and he basically blasts his windshield and then throws the jammer into the vehicle, or into Fizzle, and Fizzle's now captured by them. So they've got the three vehicles, and they're going to bring them back to New York, New York City. And so, let's see. The Autobots did try to tell them that, the Decepticons sent them there, that they're peaceful. And so the guys they're talking about it, and they said if these Autobozos are being straight with us, then these Z guys must be working with the Decepticons. Because like how'd they know exactly where they would be and things like that. So they decide that they're going to go back and they're going to find out what's happening, and if they can catch some Decepticons, then they can get a bigger reward, is what they're thinking. So the Jammers are going to keep on jamming, and they head back to New York. So they head back with the captured Autobots to New York City. They go into that building. Now the building, they do a scan. One of the guys did the technological stuff, and he does a scan, and they go in, and they're able to get into the down part of the building. And when they do, they see some Decepticon bodies there without any heads. So who are these guys? Then in comes Mr. Z, Mr. B, Mr. L, Mr. K, Mr. L, and Mr. B. And they reveal that they are headmasters, and it's Briscoe, Locos, and Kreb. These guys are new. They're new headmasters. They're not the headmasters from Nebulos. They are new headmasters, and so then they take their heads and they quickly connect with the bodies. All right, so they connect with their individual bodies. And when they do that, they can't move. It's because the Roadjammers have used one of the jammers and hit a splicer so that they could use the jamming signal on multiple Transformers. And therefore, now they've got the jamming on those Decepticons, so they've caught them, and they've actually caught the guys who turned into the heads, because now they're part of the Transformer overall. But in walks Mr. Z. Now, here's Mr. Z, and I don't know if we recognize him, but if we keep going down a little bit further, we find out it's Lord Zarok. Lord Zarok is down there, and they're trying to capture some Autobots, and they're trying to use humans to do it. And so, in comes the rest of Lord Zarok, the Scorponok body, and he turns into Scorponok, and they rumble and fight, and the Jammers then decide that they're going to use the Decepticons by remote control, so they have the Decepticons then transform, and it's Horrible, Fangry, and Squeeze Play. So these are new guys that are new headmasters. Okay, where they came from, no idea, but they are new headmasters. And I thought there was already a Fangry who was a pretender, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, they fight. The Roadjammers guy uses the captive Autobots. Felix uses the captive Autobots to fight as well. So you get the Autobots and the Decepticons fighting with Scorponok. And they're doing a pretty good job of it too. So they're fighting and they're attacking Scorponok. And what we find is they defeat Scorponok, and they go and they attack Lord Zarok. And he has a thing called an anti-jammer. And so he uses the anti-jammer to free the other Decepticons. So the Decepticons are then they then get freed, and now they're going to come after the Roadjammers, but the Autobots save them. They have the Roadjammers jump inside, save them, and they drive off. So when they drive off, they talk with the guys, when they're a safe distance away, and they had the Autobots give them the jammers so that they could destroy the jammers so that wouldn't happen to them again. But then we find out that Felix, who is, the technological master there, he retro created one of the jammers devices, in his time while he was with it. So he now has a jammer device, and the Roadjammers, he says, are back in business. So we will probably see these Roadjammers again. But not soon, because next we're going to see the Seacons. And that is going to be in the next issue. This is issue number 46. This is Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Big Damn Kid. You can also find me at BigDamnKid.com, where I do write-ups of these individual comic books. Anyway, I'd love it if you leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.